Welcome everybody to That's Good Stuff. It's time for another album review. This time we are reviewing Back to the Water Below from the English band Royal Blood. It is their fourth album. It's the first album I've listened to, but I think you guys heard their earlier album. So why don't we start with your expectations coming into this album? So, Jared, you want to go first?
Let Jonah go first.
Okay, Jonah, go first.
Um, so I've said Alex was the one who introduced me to this band,
Mhm.
and I've said before they don't leave like any impression on me, their albums, like any of them. So I didn't have like really any expectations going into this one. Um, the music kind of sounds all the same to me, kind of like each album kind of sounds like one like really long song, kind
Mhm.
of, and they don't like deviate from their style at all, and it's just not memorable to me at all. So that's just what I thought going into this one. So
So you thought it
it,
was going to sound the same?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
They have like
Jared, oh,
slight
go ahead.
variations on each album, but that's about it.
Yeah, okay.
And
Jared,
they just kind of stick to their own thing all the whole time. So, Jared,
Royal,
I really like their last album, their Typhoons album. I never listened to their middle album. Their
that
first
is
one was okay, huh?
the third is their best one.
Yeah, and then I've only listened to like the hits of the first one. Um, I didn't really have much expectations going into this album. I guess I thought it'd be like most most bands kind of change a lot there between albums. They don't seem to that much. And this one definitely doesn't seem that way.
Hmm.
But
all
yeah, I
right.
wasn't like super hyped or like not looking forward to it.
All
And then
right.
there's a bunch of like PR stuff from the band, like themselves, like the main singer. And I seen articles about that, and I was like,
Like good or bad?
bad.
Oh. All right.
Just he has like an attitude and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, English. Not surprised. So we're gonna go track by track, and then we'll give kind of our final thoughts of the album. So the first track is called Mountains at Midnight. So this is kind of an energetic opener, and it kind of, me not ever hearing any of their songs before, kind of gave me a taste of what it is. So it's kind of like I call it like glossy rock. Um, but what did you guys think of the first song?
It's like the most average, like, it's just a basic song of theirs. Like, it's a good first impression for you because it's basically just what all their songs sound like. Like, it's a good middle ground for their sound. And yeah, it didn't. I don't remember much about it. Just that it sounds like all most of their songs. They all have the same kind of like structure, like this one does, and
Mhm.
the sound.
Jared?
This one I had the same kind of note. It just sounded kind of like their last album. Sounded most kind of like Typhoons, like the leftover kind of song that they had. But I liked it. It just I was expecting something different, especially with like the title and then like a jellyfish. I thought they were going for like a theme of like underwater, I guess, but
Yeah,
kind of like didn't Pink Floyd have something like that? Kind of
yeah.
like a water theme in one of their albums.
Hmm.
Um, but this one didn't seem to keep to that, especially
I
like the first song.
I've learned that you you can't really judge a band by or the album by its cover because
No.
sometimes it usually doesn't It usually doesn't match the album, but sometimes it does. Sometimes you see a
Mhm.
cool cover and it's a cool album. So it's very shot in the dark. So then the second track is called Shiner in the Dark. For me, this one starts off like Lenny Kravitz, and it's kind of bluesy. I would say it doesn't sound like the blues, but it's got a bluesy kind of sound to it, like
This album has
modern,
more. This
like
album
kind of
has
like.
more of a bluesy sound than their other ones.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of like modern Black Keys,
Yeah.
not like the early stuff of Black Keys, but like the newer stuff. And what did you guys think of this song? Any thoughts?
I like the chorus.
Uh, I just have the note that it kind of feels like a Black Keys song or what they would
Yeah,
do.
Yeah.
I guess that just how it came through for all of us. That's kind of funny. Um, number three song is called "Pull Me Through," and this is a slow down song, I guess, from the other two. I didn't really care for this one. What do you guys think?
I thought it was
Uh,
my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. It's the one I remember the most from the album.
Interesting, Jared.
when I first heard it, I hated it because of that kind of the hook has that dissonant last note.
Mhm.
But the more I listen to the album, it's become my favorite one.
That's kind of what I liked about it.
Interesting. My favorite song, I think, is the next one, which is
Really?
it's the firing line. It's got a very bright sound to it. It doesn't sound like the first three songs. And I thought some of the lyrics were interesting on it. What'd you guys think?
I thought this one was just okay. And
Uh,
I did like the back half of the song, how it kind of builds, sort of, but that's about it. It's just an okay one.
I really this is probably my second favorite off of the album. I think these two songs back to back complement each other.
Mhm.
Um, it reminds me of another song, but I could not place it the whole time I was listening to the album. So
Hmm. Interesting. Number five, Tell Me When It's Too Late. This one it's got a heavy sound to it, but it kind of starts slow, so you gotta get to the heaviness. And once it does, it's like because when I first listened to this one, I didn't really like this song
Mhm.
or well, the next two songs I didn't really like when I first listened to them, but as they went on, I liked them. So what do you guys think of this one?
The only note I have is that it's an average rock song. This is the most forgettable for me for this album, so I don't remember anything from it.
Interesting.
um, I like this song. There's not much to say. I do like the drums in this song. But yeah, not too much to say. Not bad, but definitely not the best on the album.
Mhm. Yeah, and then number six is Triggers. Like I said, it's kind of a grittier song, I would say, for them. Not as clean sounding, but still, it didn't leave much of an impression. Like I said, I didn't like it the first time, but then the second time listening to it, it was better. What do you guys think?
This was my second favorite, probably, and I think it's like that's a better version, kind of the last song, I feel like, and it's really heavy on like the alternative, like kind of slash blues sound of the album, I thought. So there's that.
Interesting.
This one used to be my favorite off the album.
Then you had a falling out.
No, that one became my favorite. Um, but I'd say this one just sounds like them.
Yeah.
If I had to describe it, it's the most them song
Hmm.
off the album.
All right. So number seven is How Many More Times. This was probably my second favorite song. It's
Hmm.
very piano
Yeah.
driven, and it's
Hmm.
kind of a change of tempo from the other stuff. So, Jonah, did you agree?
Yeah, same thoughts pretty much. I like all of the piano in this album pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked. I remember liking the bridge to this one. So this is definitely one of the better, more memorable of this album.
Uh, this is kind of where the downfall of the album starts.
Really?
Yeah,
From here on, I don't remember these songs that well. I remember liking the piano on this song, but other than that, I can't really say any much more.
So it's funny you say that because the next song I have is number 8, High Waters, was the where I felt the album started to drag a little.
yeah.
And it's kind of just those repeating lyrics and the music. Something about the musical structure of this one is very common, and it just kind of, I don't know,
hmm
brings down the album.
The only thing I really remember is this was a shorter song from the album, and again, the chorus is good, but like you said, it's just kind of like an average song of theirs. It's very normal.
The repetitive lyrics at the end really um drags this song down because I remember liking it until it gets to a certain part at the end, and they just kept saying like high water, I think it is the
Yeah,
lyric, but they
Mm.
just keep saying it over and over until I just like lose interest and then just kind of fades away in my mind.
yeah, yeah. The end definitely kind of drags. So number 9, There Goes My Cool. This is another slow down song. This is another one that I thought was good, probably my third favorite. It's very British sounding. Um, the one note I have is I kind of wish it was earlier in the album.
Yeah.
Because I'll get to that on the next song, tell you why. But what did you guys think of this song?
This was my least favorite, and
Really?
this was the only one where the piano kind of dragged for me, and I didn't like the sound of it.
Hmm.
It sounds kind of like that like Western like piano kind of. I don't know what
Yeah, it
that's called.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has
Like
that
kind of
stuff.
the ragtime
Yeah, which the
tempo.
third one had a little of, but this one goes really heavy on. And again, like it's a slower song, and I don't think it's placed well in the album, like you said.
Yeah, should have been earlier.
Yeah,
Jared?
I thought this one kind of broke up the, I guess, downfall of the four. I do like this one a lot more than the other three. Um, I don't know. I guess I don't mind where it was placed because it kind of breaks up that monotonousness of the four. I don't know. The slow songs on this album seem to be more appealing to me than
Yeah,
the
Hmm.
faster ones.
I would say too. If they had like a more of a pop album,
Mhm.
I think that'd be interesting to see. Or like
These two, their third and their fourth one are definitely more like commercial than their first two albums.
hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, I was gonna bring that up at the end, but for the last song, it's number 10 called Waves. So when I was first listening to this song, it totally blended into the last song where I had to go back and listen to it because I
Yeah,
thought I didn't know where the song ended. So I was like, oh, I thought there was only or I thought there was 10 songs. I thought I only listened to 9, but it was a whole song. So it was a very memorable. And it's kind of I mean, it's the closer of the album. What do you guys think of it as a closer?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has again the piano and stuff. It has kind of an atmospheric sound to it, which I like in the guitar in the chorus.
Hmm.
I don't know if I like it as a last song though. How do you feel about that?
I thought it was okay for like this album, but again, I thought it blends in too much to the other one, so
Yeah.
it doesn't work as well as it should.
Well, the last time I listened to it, it doesn't feel like it really like closes. It just kind of stops.
Hmm.
So it kind of leaves the album on a weird note.
I just kind of hate this song. Like this is definitely my least favorite on the album, and I kind of just turn it after the first two listens. I kind of just turn it off at this point. Um, I don't know. I just like I'm kind of exhausted by this point with this album, and I don't really
Really
have the strength to just finish it off. So I usually just turn it off here.
interesting. So to wrap it up, my like I said, my 3 favorite songs were The Firing Line, How Many More Times, and There Goes My Cool. One thing about this, listening to this album and this band, it's a very easy listening.
Mhm.
It's not easy listening, the genre, but it's a very easy listen to because none of the songs are more than like 4 minutes long. They're all
It's only like
short.
30 minutes as a whole, I think.
Yeah. It's a very clean production. Um you can kind of tell when bands kind of get to this point. Uh I prefer like kind of the dirtier like DIY sound bands have at the beginning of their career.
You like the first one, then if
Oh really? Yeah,
yeah,
kind of like
it has a noisier sound to it.
yeah, kind of like you can really tell in like Silver Suns.
Hmm.
They start off kind of noisy and then it gets like super clean as their albums go. Um, as for what this band sounds like, the only thing I have is like it's kind of like Arctic Monkeys, um, and kind of like a more upbeat, The Bravery, um, which I
Somehow less British Arctic Monkeys.
yeah, I did go uh listen to The Bravery's famous song after this because for some reason it just reminded me of it. So, and I love that song. But what's your final thoughts on the album?
Jared, go first.
Final thoughts, definitely a step down from Typhoons. I really like that album. It's fun. It's got some really good hits in there, like Boilermaker.
Hmm.
Um, I think I don't know, it's not this album doesn't seem enough like them, but it doesn't sound like they're trying to be different. Um, it just sounds like they put it out to put it out.
Hmm.
Um, it doesn't seem like an attempt at something, I guess.
Maybe like a bunch of B-sides or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's what I'd say about it.
Jonah?
this is probably my second favorite of theirs, I'd say, behind Typhoons. But this, it's like the most average like look at like rock music now. It's just this band, kind of like that's as basic as you can get with like rock now.
Hmm.
They never, like I said, they're never memorable to me. I don't remember these songs like after listening to them. Is
Yeah.
why I had to listen to this album like a bunch before I did this. And the lyrics don't like register at all. I don't remember
No.
any of them.
Yeah.
They just kind of like sound like they put like a bunch of like cool words together and then just with no meaning or anything. That's what it sounded like to me. So yeah, just it's just another one of their albums.
Interesting. Okay. So that's gonna do it for Royal Blood. Any more? There's only 1 month left, Jared. Is there any more albums coming out this
Uh,
year for this year?
coming out or I know like Metric that they came out with
Hmm.
an album this month. Um, I don't know about anything coming out next month though.
Okay. So we might have one more music review for this year, but hopefully. But we'll let you guys know. Well, we won't let you know. It's going to be a surprise because you'll see it pop up one time. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we will see you next time. Bye.